Yeah. Okay, this one's really bitter. I don't know how you feel about that. All right with that? All right. So now I'm baking a cake. My world has been turned upside down cake. It says to use a pinch of salt, but I can't help using my fists. I preheat the empty space in my chest to 350 degrees. I put the sugar and butter together into the bowl that we bought together for the place we never moved into, and I beat the hell out of them. I drop the eggs in one by one with the shells. They remind me of the children we're never going to have. The smell of the vanilla reminds me of the ice cream that I licked off your chest that night. The flour reminds me of the flowers that I never bought. The finished mix is brown. Brown and wet and thick and smelly. Not surprising. The recipe says to use blueberries, but I'm going to use tears, blood, semen, and torn up love letters. I put the cake into the oven in my rib cage and welded the door shut. I'll let it bake for the rest of my life. If you have pride, you don't know yourself. All my life I was entertainment. I lacked the depth to say what I wanted to, the definition of the ordinary made flesh. All your life you were Little Miss used to be. A magician's hat that people pulled tricks out of. The definition of nostalgia made present. You were an orchard with no Adam. I wanted you to be my New Year's Eve. I began to let the alcohol in and the black out. You started to count apologies. After a half-life of a relationship, we lit the fuse to a final firework of a fight that left us exhausted and single. My heart blew out like a flat tire on a racetrack. I kept driving, hopeless and screaming, sparks showering up behind me as I slowed to a stop. My heart is an abandoned house that kids throw rocks at on a dare. The emotionless shark eye vacuum of emotion, a hole where one should not be, a black circle making phone calls to numbers that no longer exist, a child with no hands that longs to finger paint. The instructions on the back of an insisted suicide kit, a warning label so verbose that the pictograms and multilingual paragraphs bleed into one giant rained-on smear of caution. This haunted heart is wrapped in a white sheet, turning it into a Canadian flag of bloodstained surrender. It's gushing all over my sleeve, and I'll never get the stains out. I walk into a room like a greasy high five, and people immediately want to wash their hands. They have their beard theory ready as I throw the net of my calendar out over the month, fishing for dates. I cut a fine figure dressed in my barbecue smock and man purse. I feel like a Turkish jackalope. The sadness in my eyes is becoming permanent, but I'm fighting it. I want to be mean, efficient, and ready to go, but I end up being a rip-off artist with swollen, tattooed hands. I'm a bearded lady at the pool getting jug burn. But now, I'm looking at you. Replace my collarbones with your wishbones. Show me that fingers have no sense of smell, ignore my unpheromones, and touch me. Come closer. If you're patient and you do it slowly, you can saw through dynamite. Give it a try. What's the worst that could happen?